Anyway, and honestly, the more people that see the Epstein thing, the better, in my opinion. So, Project Veritas, apparently they caught this. They caught. I wouldn't say caught, but they released audio of Good Morning America anchor Amy Robach was talking about how they made her spike the story. Well, let's just play the video and then let's watch it. I mean, instead of me explaining it, let's just check it out.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get...
And look, I don't blame her. I really don't. Like, if you're a news anchor, and look, I'm sure she's a lefty or whatever, I get it. You know, I don't really know her political... I really don't know. But if you're a news anchor, right, and you have this story, and you've done all the... She did the interviews, and you do all the interviews, and you're told by the higher ups, don't run the story, don't do it. And now after he dies, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about what happened to Epstein. It's this humongous story. And she's like, fuck, dude, I had like an exclusive 3 years. Like, I had an exclusive. I had a fucking exclusive 3 years ago, and they made me kill the story. Like, I would be pissed. Think about it. That's your job. I mean, that would have been huge for her, right? And they tell her no.
More and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up.
Also, she could get it.
Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney.
That was her talking to her producer.
3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Oh, there's more. That was just a little hot clip.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you get it?
Yes, I did.
And look, I expose part 1, apparently. There's more coming out, but I'm going to say this. Look, listen, Project Veritas, this is great. This is awesome that you got this. I'm really glad you're releasing it. You don't need the dramatic music. You don't need the dramatic. Just play the clip without the dramatic music. There's... What's being said is already gross and fucking unconscionable enough. You don't need the royalty-free GarageBand music.
First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways.
Yes, because the ABC wanted exclusive little stories to cover Kate and be like, oh man, a royal wedding. We got to cover the royal wedding. We got to go over there and cover the royal wedding. Forget that there's a billionaire pedophile that's literally raping children.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air.
They have the interview. They still haven't released it to this day, even after the Epstein happened. Now, why haven't they released it? Because if they were to release the interview before this, obviously before this hot mic thing came out, if they were to release the interview, then people would have said, hey, if you had this, why didn't you release it 3 years ago?
That's tape leaked to us by our latest network insider. This brave insider
is probably fired now.
At ABC News. ABC News anchorwoman Amy Robach is talking to her producer on a hot mic. She says she had the Jeffrey Epstein story 3 years ago, and her bosses at ABC News spiked it.
And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now.
I don't blame her.
Every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal.
Our insider told us this tape was recorded earlier this year in late August, a day or so after this NPR report came out sharply criticizing ABC News for not broadcasting the Robach Giuffre interview years ago.
ABC has episodically covered the scandal, yet the interview was never broadcast, and Giuffre says she was never told why.
Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying, there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
But the creepy thing is that we would make access to all of these high-profile people.
Well, then I got a little concerned about why I couldn't get on.
Now this to me is where the real story starts. Because all of that, they spike it. She got concerned on why she couldn't get it on. This is where it gets fucking spicy.
On the leaked insider tape, Amy Robach says she had the Jeffrey Epstein story 3 years prior, but her exclusive interview was shelved. Robach says in the leaked tape there was a lot of pressure from Buckingham Palace. According to NPR, the famed lawyer Alan Dershowitz also pressured the network to kill the story.
That Alan Dershowitz, man, that piece of shit is still making the rounds on the fucking View and being on all the news like he didn't do anything. This guy is complicit in fucking children being raped, and I'm not convinced he didn't do something. I don't know if he did. I'm not, but I'm saying it wouldn't. How about this? I know the right way to phrase this. It wouldn't surprise me if Alan Dershowitz wasn't having some fun on that island with some girls of questionable age. This right here, that's the stuff. So they're still parading this motherfucker around.
Shortly before the interview was due to air, Harvard emeritus law professor Alan Dershowitz called the network. He was also one of Epstein's lead defense attorneys.
We wonder if the story was killed to protect the rich and powerful. It seems few were worried about protecting the women who may have been Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Remember, Epstein was still a free man 3 years ago. And just to be clear, the interview has still not aired.
Yep.
What is ABC News waiting for, or who are they still protecting?
She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything.
Robach also has no doubt about what
Anybody else getting bothered by that finger pausing thing? It's kind of stupid.
Happened to Epstein when he finally was arrested and jailed.
So do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. Yeah.
That's the producer talking in her ear. That's why she's being quiet.
There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
I mean, when I heard he was found dead, was Giselle selling his money?
I knew immediately. And
the media isn't buying the suicide thing. They're not even buying it. Look, I don't care. This is something that I will say. I don't care what Amy Robach's politics are. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. This is somebody who was actually trying to be a journalist. She even mentioned Clinton there, too. She was actually trying to be a journalist. She was trying to release a story. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you should have left and you should release it yourself. You can't. You can't. ABC owns the story. You're under contract. She's under contract. They would have fucking sued her to they would have ended her. They would have ended her. Do you think that if they could stop a story of one of the biggest pedophiles ever, they wouldn't have ended this woman's career? Of course they would have. They would have ended this bitch's career. She has a contract. She has an NDA. She has non-disclosure agreements. She has non-competes that I'm sure she signed. There's nothing. What was she going to do? Rip the story from the producers and take it to the internet? I mean, in a perfect world, I guess that's what you would want somebody to do. But, I mean, she sued to oblivion is what would happen.
He made it seem as though he made that suicide attempt 2 weeks earlier, but his lawyers claim that he was roughed up by his cellmate around the neck. That was all like to plant the seed. And then, that's why I really believe it. Like, really believe it.
The last of the leaked tape has Robach talking about alleged Epstein conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell and how she should be very careful.
He's got to have left evidence, like in the, unexplained.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, who I had all sorts of stuff on her too. I love it. I'm like, it's so funny to hear everyone say her name now because I'm like, oh my God, like, I had all this, and everyone was like, who's that? Who cares? I kept getting that. Who cares? She knows everything. She should be careful. Well, she was his, like, she went out and recruited all of these girls.
Stand by.
She should watch her back. Because if she goes, I mean, I'd have like security guards all around me.
The brave insider who leaked this tape to us does not know who at ABC News spiked the story, but someone at ABC does. Our question: who killed the Epstein story at ABC News and why? Help us find out. James Goldston is the president of ABC News. What did he know, and when did he know it? Here's the landline number for ABC News President Goldston and his Twitter account.
Oh, there it is.
If you're an insider at ABC...
There it is if you need it. There it is if you need it. There you go. There it is if you need it. Enjoy.
And his Twitter account. If you're an insider at ABC News or any other major media outlet or big tech company and you have seen corruption or bias, contact us at projectveritas.com/brave.
It really blows my mind, man, that this is happening, and it's even the anchors are like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? And look at she gets emotional, like she really is about to cry, you know. And I don't blame her. Like, I would be pissed too. On top of professionally, it would have been a huge story for her. Of course, let's be honest, it would have been a huge story for her. But you know, it's everything that people have been saying, and you've been called an idiot. And you've been called an idiot because, you know, you're a moron or you know, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're a conspiracy theorist, or blah 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 blah. Every time you hear that, you're like, but I'm not. Even the people that are working for, some of the people that are working for the media are like, no, this is bullshit. No one's buying he's killed himself. Nobody is buying that he killed himself. Nobody. 3 years, man. They had this story for 3 years, and it's all because they wanted the royal wedding coverage, because Alan Dershowitz told them to shut up. But what do you know, it's what do you say? It hasn't been said already a million times, you know? What do you say that hasn't been said already a million times about this? It's and they want you to trust these. They want you to trust what the fucking media is saying, and it's not just ABC. You know, we heard about what happened with NBC and the Matt Lauer thing and Weinstein using that. Like, they're all being blackmailed, all of them, for coverage, for everything. And it doesn't even matter what politically you are. People should be really concerned about this. Really concerned that they had the story of one of the biggest pedophiles that's ever been. One of the biggest pedophiles that's ever been doing this. It really blows my mind, you know? Yeah, but everyone knew he had dirt on them, and yeah, that's the other thing. Well, that's the problem. This is why the legacy media is trusted no more. Nobody should trust it. Nobody should trust these people. They have these information. They made this woman come out of hiding. This woman was in hiding for 12 years. 12 years. They made this woman come out of hiding. They made this woman come out of hiding after 12 years. And told her, don't worry, we're going to get this guy. They interview him, and then they say, no, you can't play the interview. Sorry, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. You're not allowed.
Whoa!
Thank you,
Look at that.
Eagle Jizz.
America first.
Did you play something? Yes, you did.
I'm a drag queen. I'm Lady Mama.
Ah, why?
I'm here to tell you, I love America. I'm a drag queen. I'm Lady Maga. And I support Trump and Melania. Oh my gosh, I'm a fabulous.
Why? Yeah, exactly. Veritas is a right-wing conspiracy theory group. It doesn't matter what you think of them. You're looking at video of ABC news anchor who did this whole story telling you what happened. Everything is a conspiracy. Everything when they're wrong. Let's see what ABC says. Probably nothing. That's going to be my guess. Are they ever going to release the interview? I don't know. I know Project Veritas said it's part 1. Maybe they have the interview. I honestly don't know. How is the NDA applicable involves illegal activities? Well, because, Tori, technically speaking, ABC could tell an anchor not to run a story no matter what, and that's not illegal. You could tell them not to run it. I mean, what Jeffrey Epstein was doing illegal, but, you know, I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't think that's something that is going to make a difference, because they always play on the fray, man. You see a Dershowitz, there's lawyers involved. They know the law. They know how to skirt the law. They know how to make the law work for them. You know what I mean? How do you fight this evil? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know how you fight it. I honestly don't know. Read ABC's statement on the Veritas website. Let's see here. I'll check it out. I didn't know ABC released a statement. ABC News and Amy Robach respond to Project Veritas bombshell. ABC News statement. At the time, not all our reporting met this. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. At the time, not all of our reporting met our standards to air, but we have never stopped investigating the story. Bullshit. Ever since we've had a team on this investigation, with substantial resources dedicated to it. That work has led to a 2-hour documentary and a 6-part podcast that will air in the new year. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Now you're going to release it because the motherfucker's dead and he can't blackmail you anymore. Fuck you. Too little, too late. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you. How dare you? How fucking dare you say, oh, in the new year we're going to release. The guy's already dead. The kids have been fucked in those 3 years that you were ignoring it. Amy Robach said, as a journalist, the Epstein story continued to unfold last summer. I was caught in a private moment of frustration. I was upset at the important interview I had conducted with Virginia Roberts that didn't air because we could not obtain sufficient corroborating evidence to meet ABC's editorial standards. Oh, you want your job, girl. About her allegations. My comments about Prince Edward and her allegations that she had seen Bill Clinton on Epstein's private island were in reference to what Virginia Roberts said in the interview in 2015. I was referencing her allegations, not what ABC News had verified through our reporting. The interview itself, while I was disappointed in it, did not air, didn't meet our standards. In the years since, no one has ever told me or the team to stop reporting on Epstein, and we have continued to aggressively pursue important story. Oh, you just want your job. Here's the problem. This is the same ABC News that it didn't meet our standards. You mean like when you were showing a fucking shooting range in Kentucky and pretending that it was the fucking Kurds getting killed? Like that important reporting standard? Apparently there's no reporting standards for that, right? There's no important reporting standards for making sure that the video is legitimate and it's not an attack in Syria. That standard, that doesn't matter. Oh, you fuck. You fucks. You fucks. All of you. All of you. Go fuck yourselves. All of you. So you're going to release, it was a 6-hour documentary after the fact. After he's been fucking murdered, and after, in those 3 years, who knows how many kids were getting fucked, you pieces of shit. But you'll edit a fucking story, though. You'll edit a story to make sure we go to war in the Middle East. That's fine. Look at the shooting range. Look how crazy it is. That's fine. That's fine. Great. These fucking pieces of shit. These pieces of shit, all of them. All of them are fucking pieces of shit. So many things don't meet your reporting standards and you release them and then have to apologize. But when there's a billionaire pedophile with plenty of stuff, you could have aired that interview. Those are allegations that you could have aired. It doesn't matter. Cooperating. No. It's an interview with somebody who was there, and now it's coming out that all the stuff was fucking true. You were on it, and then you didn't release it. And why didn't Amy Robach say something about, I think the whole that she says, I think Epstein killed himself? She kind of glazed over that. She fucking glazed over that. Fucking man. And you know what? I would venture to guess that ABC wrote that press release for her and made her release it. They could have still released it. This is the most blatant cover up and spiking of a story that I've ever seen. 3 years. 3 years you had an interview. We continued covering it. No, the fuck you did not. No, the fuck you did not. We're going to release a documentary after he's dead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't. Just fucking the trash. The media's trash. All of you are trash. All of you fucking media people are fucking trash with your fucking slimy deals. Because you know what, ABC? I know, I get it. It was more important for you to cover the royal wedding than it was for you to cover kids getting fucked. Fuck you. Fuck you, ABC. Seriously. Fuck you. Sorry, man. That fucking, that got me lit. Oh, that made me mad. All right, we can move on. I mean, I'm going to talk about it more on ROTC, so I need to cool off because that. Remember, I watched this. This isn't like something that I've had even time to really think about, or I just that fucking ABC reply just dropped. I just saw this morning at fucking 9 a.m. when it came out. So. And people believe these assholes. And people sit there and they fucking believe these fucking assholes. They sit there and they listen to them. And they go, why would the news lie? To fucking cover their own asses. That's why.